number 22, Mark Oxenreiter. Like we said before, neither of these teams has been defeated in the second half of Bucksmont play, so we are looking for a very good game from both teams tonight.
Bob, this game will decide who will hold first place in Bucksmont League for the next couple weeks. Both teams very strong. Going to see a very defensive game, I think, tonight, Bob.
I think defense will have to tell the story, Mike. You're probably right.
Low scoring. Last couple games for both teams were rather high, with North Penn scoring 95 last game.
Well, North Penn coming off a game that was not a very defensive game, more offensive. North Penn putting in their second string lineup in the end of the third quarter and all of the fourth quarter. North Penn just playing a very impressive game. Bill Coddington was just outstanding from the outside, and Brian Westy was deadly under the board.
Two people Central Bucks West will have to shut down if they want to win this game.
We have just about a minute and a half now before we get underway with the introduction of the starting lineup and the national anthem. Of course, for Central Bucks West, we'll have to look for a big game from Peter Beveniga. Michael Mullane, who broke his ankle earlier in this season and is playing sort of injured. He has been having problems with his ankle and has not been getting as much playing time as he hopes to get because of this problem. Doug Boylan, number 23. Michael Penn, outstanding quarterback from Central Bucks West, who also is a very good basketball player. Scott Jones and Steve Pollard. So those are the players we should be looking for big things from Central Bucks West tonight.
Bob,
go ahead, Mike.
North Penn is going to really have to shut down Benevigna if they want to win this game. He scored 19 points in the last game. That's what hurt Souderton, I feel, the most. Go ahead, Bob.
I have to agree with you, Mike. Coach Wayne Finkbeiner looking for a big game for Central Bucks. They are very psyched for this game, and North Penn is out to impress a lot of people if they can knock off Central Bucks West tonight. Knights, on the other hand, starting to feel very comfortable with their starting lineup and their play. They did a lot of rotating in the beginning of the season, switching players at different positions, but they've pretty much stuck to their starters and their positions, and they've been very successful since they have. Both teams back at their respective coaches, getting a few words from Coach Wayne Finkbeiner. And now the introduction of the starting lineups. Mike?
And now introducing the starting lineup. First of all, for Central Bucks West, a 6'2" junior, number 44, Steve Pollard.
Steve Pollard, forward.
6'3" senior, number 34, Michael Penn.
Number 34, Mike P.
Number 42, Michael Mullane.
Number 42, Michael Mullane.
23, Doug Boylan.
Number 23, Doug Boylan.
A 5'10" senior, number 24, Peter Beveniga.
Last but not least, Peter Benevigna for Central Bucks.
And now we go to the North Penn Knights. At center, 6'5" senior, Brian Wethy, number 50. At forward, 6'4½", number 52, Darrell Dorsey, a senior for the Knights. forward, Bill Coddington, number 30. And Mark Oxenreiter, number 22, a 5'6" senior. 6-foot senior, number 4, Jim Gulick. Now, ladies and gentlemen, our national anthem. Go here in Lansdale, North Penn High School, Central Bucks West versus North Penn. In for what should be a very exciting evening of basketball. Mike, I think it's going to be important here for neither team to fall behind. They're going to get themselves in trouble. Both teams are going to have to come out strong and start shooting right from the line.
Very true fact, Bob. It's going to be where each team scores a basket, the other team must replace that by scoring a basket for them to keep the score even, if not even, very close.
Swimming on February 18th at the University of Pennsylvania.
Jumping for Central Bucks West will be number 42, Mike Mullane, and for the night, it will be number 50, Brian Wethy, jumping. So we're ready for the jump ball at center court. Here we go. Winning the toss is Jim Gulick. Bill Coddington brings the ball up for the night. Coddington over to Oxenreiter. Oxenreiter moves around and feeds it to Brian Wethy. Coddington, Wethy inside with the shot off the rim, rebounded by Wethy, in and good. North Penn draws first blood. Score 2-0, favor of the North Penn Knights. Doug Boylan bringing the ball up for the Bucks. Over to number 24, Pete Benniger. Boylan to Penn. Penn back to Beveniger. Stolen by Mark Oxenreiter. Oxenreiter brings it up for the Knights. Oxenreiter dribbling around over to Gulick. Gulick to Dorsey. Dorsey to Oxenreiter. Oxenreiter with the shot. Rolls off the rim. Rebounded by Coddington. Coddington inside with the shot. Rebounded by Dorsey. Dorsey out to Oxenreiter. Oxenreiter moves around to Jim Gulick. Gulick looking. Passes to Darryl Dorsey, number 52. Dorsey dribbling to Gulick. Gulick to Wethy. Wethy's inside. He puts the shot up and it's good. Score 4-0 in favor of the Knights. Doug Boylan brings the ball up for Central Bucks West. Stolen again by Mark Oxenreiter. Oxenreiter to Gulick. Gulick inside with the shot. No good. Rebounded by number 44, Steve Pollard, and brought up by Pat Bedsigna. Rebounded by Brian Wethy. Oxenreiter bringing it up for the Knights. Coddington with the pass, and it goes out of bounds. The Bucks will get possession of the ball. Inbounding is number 44, Steve Pollard, to Doug Boylan. Boylan brings the ball up for the Bucks. Boylan to Betvinia. To number 42, Mike Mullane. Put the shot up and it's good. Coddington. Bucks putting a press on. To Wethy. Wethy over to Coddington. Coddington with the shot. No good. Rebounded by number 24, Bent Igna. Doug Boylan now with the ball. Mike Penn with the shot inside. Rebounded by Dorsey. Oxenreiter brings the ball up for the night. Oxenreiter. To Coddington. Coddington to Wethy. Wethy shoots. Off the rim. Nice attempt by Bill Coddington, but it's rebounded by Doug Boylan. Boylan over to number 44, Steve Pollard. I think the ball goes out of bounds. Score 4-2 in favor of the Knights. 4:36 left to go in the first quarter. Golick to Oxenreiter. Oxenreiter back to Coddington. Coddington bounces it off the foot of Bent Ivigna. Coddington to Oxenreiter. Oxenreiter with the shot, and it's good. 6-2 in favor of the Knights. Boylan brings the ball up for the Bucks. Boylan to Bentigna. To Petton. Petton with the outside shot off the rim into the hands of Brian Wethy. Wethy is going to bring it up for the Knights. Back to Coddington. Coddington looking. Inside to Dorsey. Dorsey moves out of the lane, dribbles around, and gives to Coddington. Stolen by number 23, Doug Boylan. Boylan with the layup. Good. 6-4. 3:43 left to go in the first quarter. Knights lead it. Coddington. The Bucks putting a press on here. Dorsey bobbles the pass and it goes out of bounds. So CB West will bring the ball in.
This Penn getting a little sloppy here, Bob. Trying to take it easy, but it's going to hurt him.
Central Bucks playing effective defense to this point. Doug Boylan brings the ball up for the Bucks. Boylan to Bentigna. Mike Mullane steps out of bounds. So Mark Oxenreiter will inbounds the ball. Oxenreiter to Coddington. Coddington. Stolen by Mike Petton to Bentigna. And he's fouled by number 4, Jim Golick. Golick with his first on the arm. So Benevegna will shoot 2. Benevegna with his first. He makes it. It's 6-5 in favor of the Knights. 3:08 left to go in the first quarter. Benevegna with his second. And he makes both. So we have a tie score, 6-6. Bill Coddington to Oxenreiter. Once again, the Bucks put the press on. Golick outside takes a shot. No good. And knocked out of bounds by Central Bucks West. Gerald Dorsey, Mark Oxenreiter inbounds the ball. Oxenreiter to Golick. To Dorsey. Dorsey over to Coddington. Coddington looks, moves around to Golick. Back to Coddington. To Oxenreiter. Oxenreiter inside to Wethy, and Wethy puts it up and it's good. North Penn, if they can keep feeding it to Wethy inside like that, they've been effective thus far in doing that, but they have been ineffective against the press.
I think CB West has saw that and is trying to take advantage.
Well, Wethy has shot 6 of North Penn's 8 points. Bill Coddington brings it up for the Knights. Coddington over to Oxenreiter. Oxenreiter off the rim, rebounded by Dorsey. Dorsey takes the shot, and it's good. 10-6. 1:57 left to go in the first quarter in favor of the North Penn Knights. Boylan controlling action for the Bucks to Ivegna. Penn with the outside shot, and it's good. Mike Penn starting to impress us here early on. 10-8. Favor of the Knights. Coddington working against the press to Wethy. Wethy inside, and it's good. That's one of the drawbacks of the press. It leaves man open. Boylan brings it up for the Bucks. Boylan over to Benevegna. Benevegna to number 42, Mike Mullane. To Pollard. Pollard with the shot. No good. Rebounded by Brian Wethy. Score still 12-8. Favor the Knights. We have 1 minute in the first quarter. Oxenreiter to Coddington. Coddington shoots and scores. Nice shot by Bill Coddington. Doug Boylan, that's Coddington's second. Boylan stumbles a little bit. Benevegna with the ball now for the Bucks. Benevegna. Bumped by Coddington. And a foul called on number 30, Bill Coddington. That's his first foul. Number 33, Charles Waller will come into this game replacing Mike Mullane. Doug Boylan. To Benevegna. Benevegna takes the shot. Off the rim, he's fouled. Jim Gulick called with the foul. That's his second foul of the evening. Jim Gulick sometimes finding himself in early foul trouble, so he has 2 in the first quarter. Going to have to settle down a little bit. Benevegna with his first. Makes it. (14-9). Knights lead it by 5. 18 seconds left to go in the first quarter. Benevegna from the line with his second. And he makes it. Benevegna very effective from the foul line. That's 4 points for him tonight. Dorsey to Gulick. Gulick to Oxenreiter. Inside to Wethy. Stolen by number 23, Doug Boylan. Number 33, Mike Mahler, covers it up well. And that'll end the first quarter of play. Score 14-10 in favor of the Knights. Mike?
Bob, we got a large crowd here tonight, Tuesday night. Unusual for a Tuesday night game, but fans have realized what this game means, and they're coming out and cheering their team on.
So far in this second half, Mike, the fans for both visiting and home teams have been coming out in big numbers. So, crowd very enthusiastic about this second half of play. What would you say you were impressed by in the first quarter of play?
Mainly the defense. North Penn's defense a little stronger than Central Bucks. Central Bucks had a little trouble in the beginning, shooting the baskets, getting them up there, controlling the ball. North Penn getting a little sloppy in the later minutes. Trying to, I'd say, hot dog it might be a word used. Getting caught in a couple situations where losing control of the ball. But overall, North Penn shows that they have improved since the first time they played this West team. And I don't think West wants to end this season with a even record against North Penn. I think they want to go all the way. And we shall see what we have in the second quarter.
I'd have to agree with you, Mike. Central Bucks West defense seems to be more pressed, but North Penn has been able to overcome that, and that's probably why we have a score of 14-10. Knights lead it by 4. We're into the second quarter, and we're ready for the jump from center court. Once again, Jumping will be Brian Wethy and number 42, Mike Mullane. Here we go, second quarter action. Jump one once again by North Penn. Mark Oxenreiter with the ball to Coddington. Over to Gulick. Gulick outside with the shot, and it's good. 16 to 10 in favor of the Knights. Penn with the inbound pass to Doug Boylan. Boylan brings it up for the Bucks. Boylan over to Ben Vegna. Back to Boylan, to Benevegna, to Boylan. Boylan shoots from outside, off the rim, knocked around a little bit, and Brian Wethy comes up with the ball. Mark Oxenreiter to Jim Gulick. Gulick looking, back to Oxenreiter. Stolen. Wethy with the shot. Good. Brian Wethy been the story so far here for the Knights. So far he has 10 points out of 18. So Brian Wethy telling the story here for the Knights. Penn with the ball. Tries to move inside to number 40. Mike Mullane attempts to rebound and knock it in. Coddington with the ball. To Oxenreiter. He throws it out of bounds. So a little fundamental breakdown there. And the Bucks will get possession. Boylan to Benevegna. Benevegna to Mullane. Foul called on number 22, Mark Oxenreiter, with the hold. That's his first foul of the evening. Mike Penn will inbound the ball for the Bucks. Penn to Boylan. Boylan. Penn with the shot, and it's good. 18 to 12, 6:24 left to go in the first half. That's Penton's fourth. Dorsey to Gulick. Gulick to Coddington. Coddington from the line. No good. Rebounded by Dorsey. Rebounded by Coddington. Coddington to Wethy. Wethy with a shot. Beautiful play, North Penn. Score now 20 to 12. Favor of the Knights. Doug Boylan brings the ball up for the Bucks. Boylan. Over to Benevegna. Back to Boylan. Traveling call. 5:51 left to go in the second quarter. Coddington. Press in effect. To Oxenreiter. Back to Coddington. Coddington to Dorsey. Dorsey inside. Lays it up, and it's good. I believe Mark Mullane is injured. Mike Mullane, excuse me. Apparently, I think he might have gotten hit in the eye or something. So they will check him out. Official timeout called. Central Bucks has no personal fouls up to this point. Interesting thing about Mullane, as I said earlier, he broke his ankle earlier in the season and is still playing with soreness in that ankle. He's been having trouble thus far and just has been having trouble with injuries this far in the season, which is a shame. It's a sad thing to see. Doug Boylan brings the ball up for the Bucks. 22 to 12 in favor of the Knights. Boylan to Benevegna. Benevegna back to Boylan. Boylan sets, shoots, scores. 22-14. Wethy. And he's fouled. Crowd does not like that foul at all. Wethy. Wethy hits his head.
To tell you the truth, Bob, I don't think anybody likes that kind of fouling.
Wethy obviously shaken up on the play.
As you hear North Penn crowd reacting to that, they definitely don't like that
Well, that was an obviously definite foul.
That was the type of foul where the opponent will just try to foul so that he will not get the definite 2 points. Now, in taking free throws, he might miss one, maybe both. But this will be a costly one for North Penn.
Well, you can see there, Brian Wethy. This is not an act. He is not feeling too good at this point.
Brian's sitting up now. Good sign.
With our athletic director at North Penn, Dr. Donald Ryan. Wethy seems okay. I'm not sure if he'll check right back into the ball game. He will stay in the ball game. And that's a good thing for North Penn. Hate to see them lose Wethy. $12 points so far tonight.
Brian West's a very tough athlete. He's not going to let something like this sit him down. And North Penn will take a timeout.
I think Coach Joe Heyer just wants to make sure that Brian is okay. All we have in this break in the action, let me remind you that this program is being brought to you tonight by the North Penn High School Television Network and is intended solely for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other transmission without the express written consent of the North Penn High School Television Network is prohibited. Central Bucks cheerleaders.
The cute little cheer by the Central Bucks West cheerleaders. Trying to get their crowd going. Central Bucks side a little quiet now.
North Penn side certainly vocal enough tonight.
I would have to agree with you there, Bob.
Well, Wethy will stay into the game, so he is apparently okay. So Wethy will be shooting 2 from the line. That foul charged to Boylan, so that's Doug Boylan's first foul of the evening.
First foul for Central Bucks West whole team, might add.
That's surprising because CB West has kept the press in effect for the second half of the first quarter and this entire second quarter so far. It's surprising that they have not fouled. That's a sign of good defense. Score 24-14 in favor of the North Penn Knights. We have 5:15 left to go in the first half. Wethy checks out of the game, and Derek Luby will check in. Wethy with 14 points tonight. Benevegna from the outside hits the rim and is rebounded by Bill Coddington, number 30. Coddington brings the ball up for the Knights. Coddington to Gulick, back to Coddington. Over to Oxenreiter. Oxenreiter to Derek Luby. Luby attempts to move inside to Darrell Dorsey, and Dorsey is fouled by Charles Mahler. That's his first foul. Gulick to Luby. Luby inside, and he is fouled. So Derek Luby will go to the line. Mike Pettin charged with his third foul of the evening. First foul of the evening, excuse me. Luby misses his first. Luby makes his second, scored 25-14, 4:47 left in the first half. Doug Boylan brings the ball up, over to Benevegna. Pete Benevegna to Boylan. Boylan shoots and scores. Doug Boylan telling the story for the Bucks thus far tonight. His 6th point of the evening. Penn with a shot, and it's good. So Central Bucks bouncing back with 4 quick points. Playing tough defense here are the Bucks. Oxenreiter to Luby. Luby inside, takes the shot. No good, rebounded by Penn. Penn to Boylan. Boylan brings it up for the Bucks. Boylan over to Benevegna. Takes the shot. No good. Penn with the shot. Rolls off the rim. Rebounded by number 42, Mike Mullane. To Mullane with a nice play for the Bucks. Bill Coddington. North Penn retains possession. Bill Coddington not happy.
I think Central Bucks West got a little carried away now with the full court press.
Stolen by Mike Mullane inside to Scott Jones. Jones takes a shot, rebounds. And the crowd is getting a little restless here with the refereeing. North Penn will call timeout.
Coach Hire not liking at all what he sees out on that court. He wants to regroup. He's got to get his team back together. Central Bucks West scoring some quick points there. Coach Hire just wants to find out what exactly is wrong with this North Penn team.
Well, Mike, it looked like there was some contact out there on the court, and that should not be. I think the Knights got a little upset. Coach Hire just wanted to calm the Knights down. The Knights do not need any unnecessary fouls.
That is very true. Coach Hire now talking over possibly a new strategy, see if they can get around that full court press. And Central Bucks West possibly talking over trying to put more pressure on this North Penn team.
Score 25-20, favor of the Knights. We have 3:49 left to go in the first half. Very good first half of basketball. Strong play on the part of both teams so far tonight. Mike Penn will inbound the ball for the Bucks. Penn to Benevegna, to Boylan. Boylan to Jones. Scott Jones looking. Back to number 34. Benevegna now to Boylan. Boylan sets, shoots, and scores. Benevegna has a nice outside shot from that point. That's his 8th point. Gulick. Knights working against the press. Let's see what they can do here. Gulick to Coddington. They're open to Luby. Luby bobbles a pass. Back to Coddington. Coddington inside takes the shot, and he's offensive foul called. Shove called. Coddington second. No shots will be. Crowd Boylan brings it up.
Crowd very unhappy, Bob.
Benevegna to Jones. Jones inside. Mike Mullane. Jones trying to move inside. And Benevegna takes a shot, and it's good. 25-24. The Bucks have drawn within 1 point. That's his 6th, Benevegna. Weffy looks back to Gulick. Over to Coddington. Coddington inside to Luby. And it's stolen. Doug Boylan puts a shot up. And Gulick rebounds the ball. Weffy. Crowd getting on the refs right here. stolen by Pete Benevegna. Benevegna with the shot. And the Bucks has taken a lead, 26-25, 2:06 left to go in the first half. Coddington. Now foul call. Crowd says it's about time. Crowd has not been happy with the referees so far tonight. Seems like an awful lot of contact going on.
Little too much.
That's Jones's first foul.
Sure, Central Bucks West fans don't mind this calling right now.
Coddington. Back to Gulick. To Coddington. Coddington from the line. Misses with his... Nice try by Derek Luby, but the ball just rolled off the rim. Doug Boylan. Bucks with their first lead of the ball game. Mullane. Over to Penn. Penn from the outside. Off the rim. Rebounded by Mullane. Jump ball called. Derek Luby and Mike Mullane jumping. Referees telling Brian Wethy to settle down. Wethy very unhappy with the calls. Darrell Dorsey will check back into this game, replacing Derek Luby, number 20. Knights are very upset. They can't let even if the calls are in their mind bad, they cannot let this get to them. It's going to affect their play. Benevegna. To Penn. Boylan from the outside. No good. And it's number 40, Scott Jones, comes up with it. Bucks take a 3-point lead. That was Penn's shot, excuse me. Wethy. And foul called.
But I have to mention now, 5 starters that started this game are all back in the game. Maybe this will mean something for North Penn.
Wethy goes to the line. He is shooting. Shooting 1-1, makes the first. 26-29. 1 minute, 1 second left to go in the second half. First half, second quarter. Wethy from the line with his second. Wethy with 16 points tonight. Jones to Benevegna. Benevegna from the line. Rebounded. Foul called. Offensive foul called. I believe it's going to be on number 40, Scott Jones. It is. That's Jones' second foul. 43 seconds left to go in the first half. Bill Coddington goes to the line for the night. Coddington shooting 1-1. Makes the first. Tie ball game, 28-28. Coddington with his second. No good, rebounded by number 42, Mike Mullane. Doug Boylan brings the ball up for the Bucks. Over to Benevegna. Benevegna moves inside, steps out of the lane. Looking back to Boylan. To Mullane. Mullane with the shot. No good, and it's going to be knocked out of bounds by Mullane. Time left 25 seconds in the first half. Coddington brings the ball up for the Knights. To Gulick, back to Coddington. Bill Coddington, number 30. North Penn fans getting into the game right here. Tie ball game 28, 30-28 in favor of the Knights. Mark Oxenreiter with the shot. Benevegna. That'll end Basket was no good. That'll end the first half, 30-28. Knights go into the end of the first half with a 2-point lead. Mike, your impressions of the first half so far?
It took CB West a little time to get started, but when they did, they came out and they really showed where they stand at this point. They want to win this game as much as North Penn does, I think a little more. But we shall see what's out in the second half. Maybe North Penn will pull out a little bit. Maybe Central Bucks will tighten up their defense and really shut North Penn down.
Both teams playing a good game. I think CB West is getting a little too excited, and I think maybe there should have been some more fouls called than were in the first half. North Penn, on the other hand, let what in their mind was bad calls bother them, and I think that caused them to have a small breakdown.
Mental breakdown, Bob.
Mental breakdown. 30-28. Jeff, you have some stats in the first half.
Okay, thank you, Bob. First for Central Bucks West, Boylan, Benevegna, and Patton each had 8 points, while Mike Millen had 4 points. Personal fouls, Jones had 2. Millen, Patton, Waller, and Boylan each had 1 personal. For North Penn, Brian Westy, big first half, 16 of North Penn's 30 points. Darrell Dorsey and Mark Oxenrider each with 4 points. Bill Coddington with 3 points. Jim Golick, 2 points. And Libby, 1 for 2 from the line with 1 point.
So we come to the close of the first half. Once again, score 30-28 in favor of the North Penn Knights. And we will be back in just a moment.
We hope you have enjoyed the first portion of this contest on the North Penn High School Television Network. We'll continue with the next portion in just one moment. Stay tuned for more action.
Back, second half action ready to start. We have 1:30 left before we'll get underway. Halftime warm-up taking place now. There we see the Knights warming up. Both teams, I'm sure, are coming out of their locker rooms psyched and ready to go for the second half. First half, very good basketball. Central Bucks West fell behind a little bit there towards the beginning of the second half, but then bounced right back, took a 4-point lead at one point, and now they're down by 2. Score 30-28, favor of the Knights. Mike, anything else you'd like to add?
Yeah, I'd say the last couple minutes of the second quarter reflects this CB West team. When they're in the bind, they'll play their hearts out, gain back some of those points lost. I feel you're going to see the same thing at the end of the fourth quarter. If CB West is behind, you're going to see them putting on that full court press, and you're going to see it working. You're going to see North Penn start to fall apart. That's if they fall behind again in the fourth quarter.
Mike, Central Bucks West using the full court press an awful lot in this first half of play, and I talked to a couple people with the CB West team, and they told me that they do use the press a lot on their defense. They've found it effective. It has proved effective here tonight so far. Let's hope that the Knights can find some way to overcome that press. So both teams go back now for a few last words of wisdom from each of their respective coaches before we get underway with the second half of play. Coach Wayne Finkbeiner talking it over with his Bucks. And Joe Heyer talking it over with his Knights. Assistant coach Toby Watton. Knights are ready to go, as are the Bucks. We'll have the jump ball in just a moment. Both teams going out to center court. So, 30-28, favor of the Knights, and we're ready to go with second half of basketball action. Brian Wethy and Mike Mullane jumping at center court. Knights look very determined right now. Here we go. Central Bucks West wins the toss. Recovered by Mike Mullane. Mike Pettin with the ball. Over to number 44, Steve Pollard. To Mike Mullane. Mullane under the boards. Moves out of the lane. Takes the shot. Misses, and it's recovered by Darryl Dorsey. Bill Coddington inbounds the ball to Oxenreiter. Boylan to Pollard. Foul called. Offensive foul called. Coddington inbounds to Gulick. Gulick to Coddington. Coddington presses on. Wethy over to Dorsey. Dorsey standing by himself. Foul by number 34, Mike Pettin. Pettin with his second foul. So Darryl Dorsey will go to the line. Dorsey standing back, wide open if the pass was a little bit quicker. Dorsey with his first. Benevena jumped into the lane, so Dorsey will shoot two once again.
A little confusion there on the part of Vania.
Benevenia's thinking he was 1-1. Dorsey makes his first. So Benevena's mistake cost the Bucks. Dorsey shooting his second. Makes it. Score 32-24. Knights with a 4-point lead. 7:24 left to go in the third quarter. Benevena to Boylan. Boylan shoots. And he is fouled. Darryl Dorsey charged with the foul on the wrist. That's Darryl Dorsey's first foul of the evening. Boylan shooting. Makes the first one. 32-30. Boylan with his second. Misses, and it's rebounded by Brian Wethy. Wethy gives to Coddington, who passes it to number 22, Mark Oxenreiter. Oxenreiter to Coddington. Coddington to Dorsey. Dorsey with the shot from the outside. Nice shot, and it's good. 34-29, 6:58 left to go in the third quarter. Boylan to Benevena. Benevena to number 34, Pettin, who moves inside to Mullane, who gives to Pollard. Pollard scores. 34-31. Bucks cutting the lead to 3. Oxenreiter to Wethy. Wethy. Ball's knocked out of bounds by C.B. West. Oxenreiter with the inbounds pass to Gulick. Over to Coddington. Coddington takes the shot. Off the rim into the hands of Steve Pollard, who passes it off to number 23, Doug Boylan. Boylan brings it up for the Bucks and passes it to Benevegna. Pete Benevegna back to Boylan. Bucks setting up on offense. 34 Penn to Mullane. Mullane inside, scores. 34-33. 8 points for Penn. Pollard with the shot, rebounded by Pollard. Dorsey recovers the rebound. Wethy with the shot inside, good. 36-33, 5:48 to go in the third quarter. Wethy with 18 points tonight. Foul called on Brian Wethy. That's his first. Boylan with the shot. Nice move by Boylan. Beautiful shot. Doug Boylan has just been playing an excellent game for CB West. Wethy moves up court. Travels with the ball. So the Bucks will take over. Steve Pollard with the inbounds pass to Doug Boylan. Boylan brings it up for the Bucks. Over to Penn. Knight defense getting aggressive here. Benevegna with the shot. Rolls off the rim. And Mike Penn will be charged with a foul. With a push. That's Petten's third foul. Mike Penn going to have to settle down a little bit more here in the second half. Oxenreiter to Gulick. Gulick open, takes the shot off the rim and recovered by Peter Benevegna, who passes it to number 23, Doug Boylan. Boylan giving his Bucks a chance to set up. Moving around, passes to Benevegna. Over to Petton. Petton from the corner. Misses. Rebounded by Mark Oxenreiter, who brings it up for the Knights. Oxenreiter. Back to Coddington. Coddington sets, shoots, scores. 38-35, 4:35 left to go in the third quarter. Exciting basketball here tonight, Mike.
That's great there, Bob. We got a lot of action, offense and defense, Central Bucks West and North Penn.
Boylan to Benevegna. Big combination for CB West. Boylan from outside. Scores. Basketball will count, and Boylan will go to the line. Jim Gulick charged with the foul. That's Gulick's third foul of the evening. So Jim Gulick finding himself in a little bit of foul trouble here early on in the third quarter.
Big point here for Central Bucks.
They can tie it here. 38-37. Boylan with one shot. Misses, and it's rebounded by Darrell Dorsey. So the Knights keep their 1-point lead. 4:12 left to go in the third quarter. Mark Oxenreiter gives to Coddington. Coddington. The referees call it a kick, so North Penn will retain possession. Jim Gulick inbounds to Bill Coddington. Coddington. Game slows down a little bit right here. To Wethy. Wethy to Dorsey. Nice passing. Beautiful play by the Knights. Darrell Dorsey, Brian Wethy, and Bill Coddington playing heads-up basketball. Benevegna from the outside takes the shot, rolls off the rim into the hands of Brian Wethy. Wethy to Oxenreiter. Oxenreiter to Coddington. Bill Coddington, number 30, brings it up for the Knights. Over to Gulick, back to Coddington. Coddington from the line, makes it. Swish. The fish swish. There it is. 42-37. Favor the Knights. That's Coddington's 7th point. Knights are up by 5. 3:22 left to go in the third quarter. Steal by Wethy and then recovered by Boylan. Boylan takes the shot. Nice shot by Doug Boylan. Dorsey with a pass from Coddington. Slam dunk, and the crowd loves it. We saw it in the last game by Brian Wethy, and that was Darrell Dorsey, folks, with the slam dunk. Crowd goes wild here. Dorsey with 12 points on the evening, and the ball is kicked out of bounds by Jim Gulick. Substitutions coming in for the Bucks. Number 40, Scott Jones. will replace Steve Pollard. Mike Mullane comes out of this ball game, and he is Scott Pollard stays in. Boylan, nice move by Doug Boylan. He has just played outstanding for the Bucks so far tonight. The same play again. Here we go. Dorsey. 46-41. Nice taking advantage of the press. Playing heads up, and Darryl Dorsey coming up with 4 good points. Crowd chanting Dorsey, Dorsey, Dorsey. Boylan from the outside misses and rebounded by Brian Wethy. Wethy to Gulick to Oxenreiter. Oxenreiter brings the ball up for the night to Coddington. Coddington looking over to Wethy. Wethy inside with the shot. Off the rim, rebounded by Dorsey. Dorsey moves out of the lane, takes the shot, and it's no good. Dorsey will recover it. Avoids the offside. Backcourt. Coddington with the shot. Rebounded by Dorsey. Dorsey shoots. And finally, it's recovered by CB West, Scott Jones.
A lot of fine plays there by Darryl Dorsey, Bob.
Mike Penn from the outside takes advantage. He was not covered. And the Bucks score 2. 46-43. 1:28 left to go in the third quarter. Outstanding basketball. Oxenreiter from the point. Misses. And it's recovered by Penn. Doug Boylan settling the ball game down a little bit, brings it up slowly for the Bucks. Penn takes the shot. Good. 46-45. Bucks are in within 1. Ball recovered by Mike Penn, number 34. He passes it, and it's stolen by Bill Coddington. Both teams breathing very heavy. They have been moving around a lot this third quarter, Mike.
Agree with you there, Bob. A lot of action, both offense and defense.
Coddington to Oxenreiter, back to Coddington. Bill Coddington to Gulick. Gulick inside to Dorsey, and it's out of bounds. 28 seconds left in the third quarter. Derek Luby comes in to replace Darryl Dorsey. Joe Heyer taking Dorsey out to give him a little bit of a rest.
Bad call there, Bob. Dorsey's hot. Dorsey's raring to go. He's got to keep him in there.
Benevegna with the shot. No good. Offensive foul called. Peter Benevegna charged with an offensive foul. That's his first foul. Coddington to Oxenreiter. To Gulick. Buck still using the press. Oxenreiter to Coddington. Coddington inside to Wethy. Wethy with the shot. There it is. That'll end the third quarter. 48-45. The Knights retain the lead by 3 points. Mike, we should be in for a very exciting fourth quarter. So far, these first 3 quarters have been outstanding.
Both teams still have a chance for this game. They're going to be fighting till the very last second, Bob.
CB West still, in my opinion, playing a little too aggressive, I feel. Wethy with 20 points, Boylan with 19. So Doug Boylan for the Bucks has been the story, and we don't have to tell you, Brian Wethy playing outstanding for the Knights. Wayne Finkbeiner trying to come up with something that will give these Bucks a lead. They have come close. They took the lead in the second quarter, but the Knights have had the lead most of the game.
CB West taking a little extra time in their huddle, getting their strategy and game plan
Peter Benevegna is not in at this point. He has been replaced by number 25, Eric Fairfield. 48-45. Knights lead by 3. Here we go, fourth quarter action. CB West with the ball. Doug Boylan brings it up for the Bucks. Boylan to Fairfield. Fairfield to number 40, Scott Jones to Fairfield. Crowd calling for a walk. Boylan tipped by Coddington, recovered by Boylan. Boylan with the outside shot. No good, recovered by Brian Wethy. Wethy with very good rebounding tonight. Oxenreiter to Coddington. Coddington tries to feed it to Wethy, and it's stolen by number 42, Mike Mullane. Fairfield with the shot, and it's knocked in by Doug Boylan, number 23. Wethy working against the press to Luby. To Oxenreiter. Ox to Coddington. Wethy inside with the shot is good. 50 to 47. 6:49 left to go in the game. Doug Boylan brings it up for the Bucks. To Jones. Jones sets, shoots. And foul called. Offensive foul called. Benevegna will check back into the game, replacing Fairfield. Mullane with 3 fouls tonight. Derek Luby shooting 1 and 1. This is his first. No good, and recovered by number 42, Mullane. Knocked out of bounds by the Bucks, so North Penn gets a break here and will retain possession of the ball. Coddington to Oxenreiter. Oxenreiter. To Gulick. Oxenreiter. Back to Coddington. Coddington over to Gulick. Coddington with the shot. Rebounded by Luby. Luby with the shot. Mike, Luby got so high on that rebound, he must have been about 3 feet off the ground. 3 or 4 feet. Mike Penn for the Bucks. Derek Luby called with a foul.
Wow, a little comment on last rebound by Derek Luby. He's so high, his feet or like kicking to get a little higher. Great effort by Derek Luby on that last play.
Boylan covered well by Oxenreiter, but he's going to be called with a foul. Called with a push. That's Oxenreiter's second foul of the evening. So Doug Boylan goes to the line for the Bucks. Boylan with his first. Misses, and it's rebounded by Wethy. Oxenreiter to Coddington. Back to Oxenreiter. Back to Coddington over to Gulick. Back to Coddington. So Coddington controlling things here for a while. North Penn looking for a good opportunity. Coddington starts to drive and then steps back. Gives to Oxenreiter. Mark Oxenreiter looks. Dribbles around a little bit. And passes back to Coddington. Coddington still unable to move inside. There it is to Luby. Luby goes up. Makes the basket, and he's fouled. So Derek Luby with an opportunity for a three-point play right here. 54-47. Knights have opened up a 7-point lead. 5:11 left to go in this ball game. Petton's second foul of the evening. Timeout called by Central Bucks West. There it is, 54-47. Gulick with 3 fouls, Luby with 1, Oxenreiter 2. Mike Penn has found himself with 4 fouls, so CB West in a little more foul trouble than the Knights. Let me remind you that this telecast is being brought to you tonight by the North Penn High School Television Network and is intended solely for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast without the express written consent of the North Penn High School Television Network is prohibited. Crowd chanting, "Let's go West, let's go West." The CB West crowd coming alive right here. 5:11 left to go in the game. Luby at the line with 1 shot. Bucks are going to have to start playing better basketball right here. Luby from the line. Misses it, and it's rebounded by number 42, Mike Mullane. Doug Boylan brings the ball up for the Bucks. Boylan to Penn. Penn takes the shot. Rebounded and knocked out of bounds by the Bucks. Foul is called. Scott Jones, number 40 for the Bucks, is charged with the foul with push inside. So Brian Wetby will go to the line for the Knights. Jones' 3rd foul of the evening. Wetby shooting 1-1. Misses the first, rebounded by Mullane. Doug Boylan brings the ball up. To Benevegna. Over to Mullane. Inside to Jones. Jones takes the shot. Derek Luby almost lost it, but it's recovered by Bill Coddington. Oxenreiter. Mark Oxenreiter, number 22, brings the ball up for the Knights. Dribbles and passes to Coddington. Inside to Wetby. And it's blocked. Technical foul called on Wetby, number 50. Brian Wetby called with a technical foul. Crowd reacting unfavorably. Knights have got to settle down. They cannot let the calling bother them tonight. Benevegna makes the first.
Bob Bryan thought he was fouled there. He had 2 men right on top of his head, and he got a little upset and punched the pads up against the wall.
Well, Coach Joe Heyer telling his team, settle down, settle down. Boylan outside, misses with the shot. Jump ball called between Benevegna and I believe it's going to be Bill Coddington. 4:14 left in the 4th quarter. 54-48. Knights by 6. Mullane to Jones to Boylan. Boylan over to Penn. Penn takes the shot. And it's good. Mike Penn outstanding from the outside. Score 54-50. Mark Oxenreiter will bring the ball up for the Knights. Crowd has come alive here in Lansdale. Penn has 10 points tonight. Luby takes the shot and it's good. Derek Luby contributing 7 points. 56-50. Foul, traveling call. Mullane called with traveling. And Darrell Dorsey is back in this ball game. Coddington to Gulick. Back to Coddington. To Wethy. Wethy to Dorsey. There it is. Dorsey put the shot up. And this crowd is very unhappy with this calling. And the Knights call a timeout. Boy, you have an angry crowd right here now, Mike, and I can't say I blame them. Even Coach Joe Heyer unhappy with the call.
Everybody in this crowd getting mad.
I don't have to tell you, the crowd has come alive. You can hear it, folks. 56 to 50, 3:27 left to go in the game. We're in the fourth quarter. From North Penn High School. There's the crowd. Rowdy as can be tonight. Both sides. Coach Hires told his Knights, settle down, don't let it bother you. We're up by 6. They can shut down the Bucks for 3 more minutes. They'll be fine, but that's going to be a tough thing to do.
Bob, one thing you gotta wonder is what that official is saying down Dorsey right now, what they're talking about. It's always something I wonder when I'm watching the game. You see an official and a player talking, you always wonder what they're talking about.
Well, sometimes I wish, Mike, that the officials and the players could be wired for sounds, but then other times I'm glad that they're not.
That's true, Bob, very true.
Dorsey with his second shot makes it 57 to 50. Knights by 7 points. 3:25 left in the fourth quarter. Benevegna. Dorsey with 15 points. Benevegna scores a big 2. 57-52.
Now, Central Bucks West getting nabbed with that full court pressure, Bob. They gotta watch themselves, gotta calm down just a little bit.
Peter Benevegna called with blocking. And Mike Penn checks back into this game. Jim Gulick shooting 1 and 1. Gulick from the line. Misses the first. And it's knocked out of bounds by North Penn. Petton to Boylan, who brings it up for the Bucks. We're going to have to turn something on right here. Petton from the outside makes the shot. 57-54. Central Bucks within 3 points. Wethy bobbles his pass. Mark Oxenreiter brings it up. Dribbles around. Bucks scrambling here with the defense. Oxenreiter inside to Wethy. Wethy under the boards and he scores. 59-54. So it's a Knights by 5. 2:33 left to go in the game. Wethy with 24 points tonight has done an outstanding job. And this game is far from over, folks. Boylan to Mullane. Mullane moves inside, takes the shot, recovered by Bill Coddington. Coddington to Wethy. Wethy.
An offensive foul on Darryl Dorsey, Bob.
I have trouble understanding that call, Mike.
I have to agree with you there, Bob. Darrell was really all by himself on the court. I don't know who he could have fouled. Apparently they're going to give Sons of Bucks West some free throws here.
The foul called away from the ball. And Benevegna will shoot 1 and 1. Benevegna from the line. Makes his first. He can draw them to within 3 points. Score now 59-55. 2:12 left in the game. Benevegna with his second. Makes it. The Bucks are within 3 points. Putting the press on right here. Bad pass. Mullane gets it. And Benevegna puts up the shot. Offensive foul call on Peter Benevegna. He's called with charging. That's his 4th foul of the game. So Mike Penn and Benevegna find themselves with 4 fouls. Wethy with 2. 61-56. Knights lead it by 5. There's 1:55 left to go. Boylan inside. Misses the shot. Recovered by Wethy. Brian Wethy with 26 points tonight.
Brian Wethy having a heck of a night tonight, Bob.
Outstanding night for Brian Wethy. Time called Central Bucks West. 1:48 left to go in the 4th quarter and this ball game.
Got an action-filled game here, Bob.
Reminds me of the LC North Penn game that we saw in the first half of the season, before the Bucksmont season got underway. Crowd reacting appropriately. North Penn fans a little silent right here. And now the North Penn fans start to come alive. 61-56. The Knights lead it by 5. They have to shut out the Bucks or hold them for 1 minute and 48 seconds, which is what we have left to go here in this game. Wethy will be at the line. Number 50, Brian Wethy. Shooting 1 and 1. Wethy from the line with his first. Misses and recovered by Mike Mullane. Boylan brings it up for the Bucks. Boylan to Benevegna, covered well. Penn from the line. Switch. So the Bucks are within 3 once again. Gulick to Oxenreiter. Oxenreiter brings it up for the Knights. To Wethy. Wethy holds on to the ball. Knights are going to try to waste a little bit of time. Dorsey with the shot is good. 63-58. Dorsey with 17 points for the evening. Boylan to Penn. Penn with the shot, no good. Recovered by Boylan. Foul call on Darrell Dorsey. Darrell Dorsey called with a foul. That's his 3rd foul. Darrell Dorsey called with a push. Doug Boylan from the line, shooting 1 and 1. Boylan misses the first. Recovered by Wethy. Let's see what the Knights are going to do with it now. Oxenreiter. Over to Connington. Foul call on Doug Boylan. That's his 2nd. Oxenreiter at the line. .58. Oxenreiter shooting 1-1, misses. Rebounded by Coddington to Gulick. Back to Coddington. Coddington to Wethy to Gulick to Oxenreiter. Jim Gulick. Back to Coddington. Benevegna. Charged with his 5th foul.
I believe Benevegna fouling out. Going to sit on the bench now and watch the rest of the game from the bench.
So Benevegna checks out of this ball game. He has fouled out. Played a very good game. And number 44, Steve Pollard, will replace him. Bill Coddington is at the line for the Knights. Score is 63-58, and we have 29 seconds left to go in this game. And I'm beginning to wonder if it might be a little too late for CB West to come back with 5 points. If Coddington can make the foul shots here. Coddington makes the first. And the Knights call timeout. Excellent basketball game tonight.
Very good game. North Penn crowd cheering on their teams here. We had a large crowd Tuesday night. Very strange, the Tuesday night game. Just North Penn fans realizing that their team has a good chance in the Bucksmont League, and they want to come out here and they don't want to miss this action. I'll tell you, this is one game that I won't want to miss.
I remember this game is being brought to you by the North Penn High School Television Network. .58. Coddington will have one shot. The Knights are up by 6. 29 seconds left to go in the ball game. Coddington shooting 1 from the line. Makes it 65-58. CB West down by 7. Boylan moves inside, takes the shot, quick, and it's rebounded by Wethy to Gulick to Dorsey. Darryl Dorsey, outstanding basketball tonight. 67-58. Blocked by Wethy. Dorsey with the shot. Recovered by Wethy. That will end the game, ladies and gentlemen. Final score, 67-58. And the North Penn Knights have defeated the Bucks of CB West.
Bob, I have to say, this is one heck of a fought-out game. Both teams are fighting down to the very end. It's a shame one of these teams has to be called a loser. But one is, they both played a very nice game. I wouldn't be ashamed of this game at all.
Both teams playing outstanding basketball, but I'd have to hand it to the Knights. They did an outstanding job today with exceptional play by Brian Wethy, Darryl Dorsey, Bill Coddington. It was just a good, well-rounded effort by the Knights tonight. Central Bucks West was led, of course, by Doug Boylan, who just did an exceptional job for West. Peter Benevegna played exceptionally well, fouled out in the 4th quarter. And Jeff, do you have some stats ready for us?
Okay, thank you, Bob. For North Penn, Brian Wethy led all scores with 26 points. Darryl Dorsey, excellent second half. He finished with 19. Bill Coddington had 9. with 6 in the second half. Derek Luby had 6 in the second half also. He finished with 7. Mark Oxenreiter, 4 points. And Jim Golick with 2 points. For the fouls, Golick had 3, as did Dorsey. Bryan had 2, one of them being a technical foul. Coddington had 2. Oxenreiter had 2, and Luby 1. For Central Bucks West, Boylan had 21 points. 12 points was Benavega. He fouled out. Mike Patine finished with 16 points. Jones did not score. Mullane finished with 9. For fouls, Benavega fouled out, I said. Jones and Patine with 4. Mullane with 3. Boylan with 2. And Waller with 1. Bob?
Thank you. Jeff, Mike, your impressions of tonight's game?
I don't know if I can say much more. Said just about everything I can think of. Both teams, they're both great. One has to be called a loser. Only for this game, and this game only. There's other games. North Penn now taking the lead in Bucksmont League. Central Bucks now in second place.
So the Knights will go to 3-0, and the CB West Bucks will be at 3 wins and 1 loss in the second half of play. And that'll bring to a close another session of Tuesday night basketball. I'd like to thank our crew. Our executive producer is Mr. Earl Cardellino, director and video director Dave Deichler, audio and camera Stephen Reese and Art Freed. So, final score, 67-58 from North Penn High School in Lansdale. This is Bob Tryansky along with Mike Adaletta and Jeff Nish saying good night from North Penn High School.
This has been North Penn Sports Action on the North Penn High School Television Network. Be watching for details on the next North Penn Sports presentation. This program was pre-recorded.